Have you ever felt like, no matter how hard you try, success keeps slipping away? Have you worked tirelessly, but the results don't reflect that effort? What they probably haven't told you is that the secret to achieving more without wearing yourself out is in focusing on what truly matters. Today, you're about to discover a secret that will completely transform the way you view your efforts, your goals, and your life. In this audiobook, I'm introducing you to the 80-20 principle, also known as the Pareto principle. It's the same principle that top entrepreneurs, the most successful minds, and people who have completely transformed their lives apply to achieve more with less. Imagine being able to reduce effort without losing what truly counts. What would you do if you could focus solely on the 20% that truly drives results? What would your life be like if, by focusing on the essentials, you could multiply your achievements, your happiness, and your success? The 80-20 is not just a theory, it's a life strategy. In the following lessons, you will discover how to practically apply this principle to all areas of your life, from how to create an effective balance between your professional and personal life, to how to choose relationships that genuinely contribute to your well-being, and most importantly, how to achieve your dreams without the pressure of doing more, but by focusing on what really matters. Because it's not about how much you work, it's about how you work. I invite you to follow this path of discovery, because in the end, when you understand what's essential, when you wisely choose where to dedicate your energy, your life will begin to flow in a completely new way. Just one change can transform everything you thought was possible. And right now, with this powerful tool in your hands, that change is closer than you think. Every company aspires to one essential goal: maximize its profits and ensure its sustainability. But in practice, many organizations find themselves trapped in a cycle of putting out fires, constantly facing problems that, in hindsight, seem inevitable. However, here's the big question. What if these obstacles could be anticipated? What if there were a simple yet transformative method to identify the gaps in your business before they become crises? This is where the 80-20 principle reveals itself as a powerful tool, your compass for navigating the business landscape with clarity and purpose. This principle isn't some abstract mathematical formula. It's a real, practical strategy that allows you to achieve great results using fewer resources. The world's most successful companies have applied it to redirect their efforts, and you can too. What do you need? An honest analysis and a firm commitment. Yes, it requires time and focus, but the rewards are extraordinary. A more profitable, efficient business model aligned with what truly matters. Start by focusing your attention on 3 fundamental pillars: your products, your customers, and your market position. Imagine for a moment that you conduct a thorough analysis of your products. How many do you launch each year? More importantly, where does the majority of your revenue come from? You'll likely notice a surprising and consistent pattern. A few products, maybe around 20%, generate the majority of your profits. This, far from being an alarming imbalance, is a unique opportunity. It's time to ask critical questions. What makes those products special? Why are they in the highest demand? And most importantly, how can you replicate that success? The same exercise applies to your customers. Ask yourself, who are your most loyal, frequent, and influential buyers? You'll discover another undeniable pattern. A small group, that same 20%, is responsible for most of your income and likely for your business's stability. But don't stop there. It's essential to understand the why behind that loyalty. Is it the quality of your service, an emotional connection you've cultivated, or have you uniquely solved an urgent need? When you deeply understand your most valuable group, you can turn that trust into the foundation of your growth strategy. However, don't ignore the other side of the equation. The remaining 80% of your customers, though less profitable, still have much to teach you. What limits their participation? Is it a pricing issue, a lack of perceived value, or simply a disconnect with their needs? This analysis will not only help refine your offer, but also empower you to make bold decisions about where to invest your energy and where not to. In business, just like in life, knowing where not to put your efforts is as crucial as knowing where to focus them. Finally, reflect on your position in the market. Where do you stand compared to your competitors? And perhaps more importantly, why? Maybe another business is more successful due to its constant innovation, superior customer service, or ability to anticipate trends. Learning from your competitors isn't a sign of weakness. It's an opportunity to explore new ideas, to redesign your proposal, and stand out in areas they have yet to conquer. It's in that blend of humility and strategy that you'll find your greatest strength. The 80-20 principle isn't about working harder. It's about working with intention. It's about maximizing the impact of each decision and each action. When you direct your attention to that 20% that moves the needle on your success, you not only improve your business, but you also free up space for creativity and innovation. Richard Koch sums it up perfectly. The things that matter most should never depend on the things that matter least. This is your reminder to prioritize and move forward with clarity. Today, you have an opportunity in front of you. You can continue reacting to problems as they come, or you can decide to take control, identify the levers that generate your biggest results, and build your business on solid foundations. If you choose this path, the 80-20 principle can become your turning point, your guide to transforming not just your numbers, but the very direction of your company. Remember, change doesn't come by chance. It comes to those who are willing to look closely, reflect, and commit. If you choose to apply this principle today, you'll discover that every step counts, and every strategic decision creates lasting impact. This is your moment. Are you ready to take the first step toward a more profitable, agile, and above all, more aligned business with what truly matters? There's a powerful reason behind every decision made by your customers. They chose to buy from you, not your competition. Take a moment to think about how meaningful this act is. We live in a world filled with options, where advertising campaigns are constantly trying to grab our attention. And yet, they chose to cross that line and trust what you offer. If you can unravel the reasons behind that choice, you'll uncover an invaluable key: the value they truly find in your business. This knowledge not only transforms your strategy, but it also transforms how you view and build relationships. Because understanding the why behind their trust is the first step to becoming an essential part of their lives. Now, the foundation of this reflection is clear: identifying and understanding those key customers, that top 20% who drive the majority of your revenue. They are not just numbers in a monthly report. They are the core that sustains and defines your business. Discovering what makes them unique and keeping them close isn't just a strategy, it's a fundamental priority. When you manage to become an irreplaceable partner in their lives, the growth of your business stops being merely incremental. It becomes exponential. However, don't be mistaken in thinking that the goal is just to expand your customer base. While growth is always important, true strength lies in those who already trust you. That select group doesn't just represent revenue, it represents loyalty, opportunities for genuine feedback, and often the most effective funnel for new customers through recommendations. Satisfying these customers isn't an optional task. It's an investment that will always be worth it. This knowledge should influence every aspect of your strategy, from how we design marketing campaigns to how we structure our operational decisions. When you focus your resources on that key segment, you'll see something amazing. The return on investment multiplies, not because you're doing more, but because you're doing better. Imagine a garden for a moment. You could water the entire land and hope for results, or you could nurture the flowers that have already started blooming. The latter is not only more efficient, it's more impactful. But the key to it all lies in an undeniable principle: sales and marketing are inseparable. You can have a brilliant, innovative marketing strategy and still fail if your sales team isn't aligned to take full advantage of it. Likewise, even the best sales team won't be able to fulfill its purpose if there's no clear strategic plan behind it, designed to enhance every interaction, every business close. This is where the 80-20 principle shines again. You'll discover that probably only a fraction of your sales team, perhaps 20%, is generating the majority of the results. This group isn't standing out by chance. It could be their ability to emotionally connect with customers, their skill in handling objections, or their capacity to offer solutions that go above and beyond expectations. This is the moment to turn their excellence into a guide for the others. Create training programs, develop spaces for mutual learning, and find ways to replicate those strengths. But also, be bold. If, after investing in development, some people fail to progress, it might be time to make tough decisions. Because, while uncomfortable, business success requires decisions based on impact, not just effort. That said, Never lose sight of the importance of taking care of your key players. Performance doesn't emerge in a vacuum. It's born in an environment that fosters growth, acknowledges effort, and provides the right tools. When your top talent feels valued, their energy and motivation expand like a wave that spreads to the rest. An inspired team is not only efficient, it becomes the backbone of your success. So here's the challenge. Use the 80-20 principle to focus your efforts, not only on your customers, but also on your team. Identify what truly matters, prioritize what makes an impact, and make decisions boldly. Because it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. This approach will transform not just your revenue, but the way you lead and your vision of what a solid business looks like. Today is the day to redefine your priorities and rewrite the rules of your success. Don't be afraid to focus on quality over quantity, on depth over breadth, because the secret isn't about doing more, it's about doing better. Are you ready to take that step? Because with every strategic decision, every loyal customer, and every valuable team member, you're building the future you've always dreamed of. The 80-20 principle has the power to transform not only how you manage your time and productivity, but also how you find and cultivate your happiness. But to unleash its true potential, you must first accept a fundamental truth. Imbalance is not only natural, it's inevitable. Everything around you, from human interactions to the most complex phenomena in the universe, follows asymmetrical patterns. And within this apparent inequality lies a unique opportunity to achieve more with less effort, to redirect your energy towards what truly matters. This is the heart of 80-20 thinking. It's not a rigid formula, but a personal, intimate, and deeply transformative tool. However, there's an essential nuance. No one can implement it for you. This journey is solely yours. No one knows your life better than you do. Expert advice, productivity systems, or even the most well-known success models can be helpful, but only as a compass, not as a definitive map. The true implementation of the 80-20 principle requires something far more valuable: sincere introspection. It's about observing yourself closely, understanding your daily routines and challenges, and daring to decide what truly matters to you. It sounds simple, but therein lies its power. More than a technique, it's a process of self-discovery. When you use this principle to manage your time, you enter into a creative, almost artistic act. Notice how 80% of what you achieve, those great moments of progress, come from just 20% of the time you invest. Even the most productive individuals you know are not at their best throughout the whole day. The difference lies in the fact that they have identified their golden windows, those periods when their focus, creativity, and energy reach their peak. And you can do it too. But here's the key. It's not about replicating others' formulas, but finding yours. If you're still unclear about those high productivity moments, there's a practical exercise you can do. Reflect on 3 days when you felt everything flowed perfectly, when you achieved much more than usual. Remember the details. Was it early in the morning or at night? What conditions favored that focus? Maybe you took a strategic break or turned off your phone. Write down these observations and detect the recurring patterns. Every small detail is a piece of the puzzle. This exercise is not just an analysis, it's a way to design the ideal framework for your future days to be just as successful. However, the power of the 80-20 principle doesn't stop at productivity. Richard Koch invites us to apply it to something even more essential: our happiness. Imagine yourself in front of 2 blank sheets of paper. Label them Island of Happiness and Island of Achievements. On the first, write down all the activities, moments, and experiences that truly made you feel happy. It doesn't matter if they seem trivial or profound. On the second, write down those accomplishments that filled you with pride and satisfaction. Both exercises are mirrors of what you truly value in life. Now, here's the interesting part. As you read your notes, you'll discover patterns, connections between what you do, what you achieve, and how you feel. Perhaps you'll realize that certain small activities, a sunset walk, a meaningful conversation, have a disproportionately large impact on your well-being. Or maybe you'll notice that the moments you felt most proud of weren't so much related to the quantity of tasks you completed, but the quality and meaning of what you did. These observations are like a personalized life manual, ready to guide your next steps. However, there's a subtle trap you must avoid: guilt. During this process, it's easy to fall into the temptation of blaming others or circumstances for what went wrong. But remember, guilt is merely a distraction. Instead of looking outward, focus on what's within your control. This shift in perspective is liberating. You'll discover that you have more power than you thought to shape your days into a more fulfilling life. 80-20. Thinking is not a quick trick or a magic formula. It's an invitation to examine your life under a magnifying glass, to identify what really matters, and to focus on it intentionally. Small, strategic decisions made consistently can transform not just your productivity, but also how you experience life. Because at the end of the day, real success is not about doing more. It's about doing better, focusing on what adds real value, and remembering that you have the power to build the life you've always imagined. So, are you ready to take on this challenge? You don't have to be perfect, just authentic in your pursuit of what's essential. Reflect, act, prioritize, and let the 80-20 principle guide you towards a profound change, one that doesn't just transform how you work, but how you live. Relationships are, without a doubt, the heart of the human experience. We are designed to connect, to share our lives, emotions, and stories with others. Pretending otherwise is not an act of strength, but of isolation that, far from strengthening our spirit, weakens us. From the moment we arrive in this world, we depend on others, first our parents, then siblings, friends, and eventually those relationships we consciously choose to cultivate throughout our lives. We are more than individuals. We are a network of connections, and it is precisely in these relationships where much of what we are and what we can become is shaped. Think about this. The relationships we choose, and also those we inherit, have the power to deeply influence our personal development and the course our life takes. That old saying, which you've surely heard again and again, remains true. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now reflect. If those 5 people are ambitious, inspiring, and creative, their energy will inevitably permeate the way you see the world. Their habits, thoughts, and ways of acting will filter into your own perspective. On the other hand, if those people tend to be negative, complacent, or mediocre, you will face the constant risk of their energy pulling you in the same direction unless you are intentional in redirecting the course of your connections. Here lies one of your most underestimated powers: the ability to choose your relationships. Although we don't choose our family, we have full control over who we spend our time with, to whom we entrust our dreams, and perhaps most importantly, who we allow to influence our lives. This extends to all areas. From the partner we choose to love, to our closest friends, to our colleagues, partners, and mentors. Every decision matters because every relationship acts as a seed that can either blossom or consume emotional and mental resources without adding value. The 80-20 principle also applies to our relationships. You may meet many people throughout your life, but only a small percentage, perhaps the 20%, will have a significant and lasting impact on your happiness, personal growth, and goals. These few people will offer you 80% of the emotional, intellectual, and spiritual value you derive from your relationships. Therefore, quality will always outweigh quantity. It's not about how large your network is, but how authentic and enriching the connections you choose to maintain are. Take a moment to evaluate your current relationships. Perhaps you can identify 1 or 2 friends who have been by your side since childhood, those who have withstood the test of time and remain part of your life. Maybe you have a handful of friends in adulthood with whom you can share your joys, concerns, and desires. And maybe you've even found great love. This pattern is no coincidence, nor is it a limitation. It's a natural representation of how we are designed to function, cultivating few but deep connections that nourish our spirit and propel us forward. In the professional realm, Richard Koch suggests building and maintaining between 6 and 7 key relationships that can make a difference in your work and personal life. Imagine the impact of having 2 or 3 mentors you deeply admire, capable of providing wise guidance based on their experience. Another 2 or 3 reliable colleagues, companions with whom you can grow and face challenges, and perhaps 1 or 2 apprentices, people you can guide and help reach their full potential. These strategic relationships not only enrich your journey, but create an impact that transcends, leaving a lasting legacy. Beyond the type of relationship, there are 5 fundamental pillars that define its success: mutual enjoyment, deep respect, shared experience, reciprocity, and of course, trust. Without these elements, any connection runs the risk of being fleeting or shallow. But when they are present, the possibilities for building a meaningful and lasting relationship are endless. Life is too short and our emotional space too valuable to fill it with superficial or harmful relationships. Before opening your life to someone, make sure you know them well. Don't rush. Take the time to observe who they are and what they bring into your life. Look for people who elevate your vision, who inspire you to be better, and who walk with you in your most vulnerable moments. Remember, your relationships not only reflect who you are at this moment, but they are constantly shaping the person you are becoming. Choosing wisely is not an act of selfishness, but of self-love. By prioritizing quality over quantity, you'll find that authentic and deep relationships not only enrich your life, but transform it into a more powerful and meaningful experience. Many people live trapped in a routine they don't desire, burdened by limiting beliefs that seem to paralyze them in a reality far from their dreams. They hate their job, feel that their relationships don't meet their expectations, and their bank account never seems to offer the stability or freedom they long for. This feeling of being stuck is not an exception. It is one of the most common realities many people face daily. But what most don't know is that this feeling doesn't have to be constant. Here is the fundamental truth. You can have the life you desire. The key to transforming your life lies in being completely clear about what you really want. It's not enough to have a vague idea, you need a clear vision. What does your dream life look like? What role do work, health, relationships, travel, and fun play in it? Where do you live? What do you do every day? Who do you share your time and energy with? Be honest with yourself and make a detailed list. Take your time to dive into each area, from the everyday to the grandest aspirations. The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to find the path toward it. By being specific, we create an internal roadmap that guides us even when external circumstances seem challenging. Once your vision is clear, observe those who have already managed to live that life. How did they do it? What decisions, sacrifices, or key moments made a difference for them? Here lies the true value of learning. It's not enough to admire the success of others, you must study the process. Ask yourself, what am I willing to do that they did to achieve it? Because success doesn't exist without strategy. The difference isn't in innate talent or luck, but in vision clarity and the defined steps they took toward their goals. One crucial aspect of this process is professional career. For many, work is a central aspect of life, but there is a huge difference between having a job that fulfills us and feeling trapped in a job that drains our energy and motivation. When you don't feel that your job resonates with you, it becomes a burden. And here lies a common mistake. Many people think they need to immediately quit their job to pursue their dreams. But that's not always necessary. For example, if you've always dreamed of being a writer but find yourself trapped in an accounting position, you don't need to make drastic decisions, but rather create a parallel path consistently. Write every day, share your ideas, produce content, work with dedication. Over time, your passion may take you so far that your income as a writer could replace your accounting job. What matters is staying focused and consistent while ensuring you have enough stability in the present as you build your future. The most important thing is not to get trapped by the belief that you are doomed to a job you hate. Life should not feel like a sentence. It has to be a journey toward your self-fulfillment. Remember, a job is only one part of the equation, and while you may have a good job in financial or status terms, if it strips away your time and personal energy, you're losing the true treasure, your overall well-being. Furthermore, true success is not confined to just one part of your life, such as your job. True success is a balanced experience, fulfilling in all aspects. You cannot enjoy professional success without your personal and emotional life being equally balanced. True and lasting success is not only about getting a promotion or a raise, but also enjoying harmony with your family, friends, your health, and yourself. If something in any area of your life is wrong, that's the moment to act. It doesn't matter if you're achieving great things in your career, if your health is deteriorating, or your most important relationship is falling apart. Balance is essential for genuine happiness. Do the self-evaluation exercise. In which areas do you feel fulfilled? Where do you need to grow? And what is the path that will lead you to that ideal place? Remembering this will allow you to build a successful life, not just professionally, but in every aspect you deem valuable. A balanced life is not just a dream, it's an achievable reality that, when lived, turns freedom and peace into our most constant allies. Remember, it's not enough to listen to success stories, nor to admire others. If they have achieved that dream life, so can you. If you establish a clear vision, followed by an action plan, and genuinely commit to that path, the results will come. As Richard Koch wisely says, those who know how to seize the day become very wealthy. It's true because true wealth is not just about material riches. Seize every moment. Seize every opportunity that comes your way. When you work with this focus in your mind, you'll see how the future you dreamed of is not only possible, but inevitable. You already have what you need: clarity, passion, and the necessary time to achieve it. It's just a matter of acting in line with your dreams and making them a reality. The 80-20 principle is one of the most powerful formulas for achieving success. It invites us to focus our energy and resources on the 20% of activities, relationships, or decisions that generate the most significant results, while the remaining 80% receives less attention. This idea doesn't mean we should completely ignore everything that falls into that 80%, but rather, we should seek that natural balance that allows us to prioritize what's most relevant and productive. Here lies one of the keys. The 80% we choose to relegate may be the same 20% that others are leveraging to elevate their life, business, or personal goals. This perspective not only broadens our vision, but also encourages us to be strategic with every action we take. If you own a business, the 80-20 principle has the potential to radically change the way you manage your team. Instead of trying to please everyone equally or spreading efforts evenly, you should focus your resources on the few key employees who are truly driving the most meaningful results. Sometimes, this can lead to a tough but necessary decision: firing those who are not aligned with the company's objectives. While this option may sound harsh, it is a choice that, in many cases, can benefit both parties. By giving those employees the opportunity to leave, they may find new paths in which they can fully develop. In fact, many personal and professional achievements come when someone is pushed out of their comfort zone and is forced to reinvent themselves in an environment where they can truly shine. The best decisions arise from the discomfort of change, a concept that is often painful but necessary for both personal and professional growth. The 80-20 principle isn't just applicable to the business world, it extends to all areas of our lives. One area where it can truly make a significant difference is time management. If you take the time to reflect on your most productive days, you are likely to discover revealing patterns. What did you do differently on those days? Perhaps you started earlier, prioritized your tasks more effectively, or focused better by reducing distractions that usually derail you. These small adjustments, though invisible at first glance, are the core of what allows you to do more in less time. The exercise of noting down those experiences, identifying those key moments, and repeating them consistently becomes your own productivity formula. This approach not only makes your days more efficient, but also allows you to scale your performance and quality of life by multiplying those positive habits over time. Applying the 80-20 principle with clear and conscious vision has the power to radically transform both your productivity and your approach to personal growth. By focusing on what truly matters, what brings you full satisfaction, and the most important results, you'll see how every part of your life begins to flow with greater purpose, balance, and effectiveness. It's a change that not only improves your performance, but reconfigures how you perceive your day-to-day, creating a virtuous cycle of valuable actions and satisfying results. The real key is not in working more, but in working better, with a focus that honors the essentials, leaving the superfluous and unnecessary behind. When you apply the 80-20 principle, you're taking control not only of your productivity, but of your entire daily experience. This principle, beyond a simple management technique, is a life philosophy that allows you to grow more effectively. No one says it's an easy path, but with the right discipline and focus, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Magic happens when you dedicate your time and energy where it really makes a significant difference, and that's where the most powerful transformations reside. With clarity and awareness, each day can become an opportunity to get closer to the life you truly desire. And so, we reach the end of this transformative journey. But remember, this is just the beginning. Every small change you implement today will have an impact on the future you're building. I am convinced that transformation begins with a single decision, and today you've taken an important step in that direction. If this audiobook has inspired you, if you've truly connected with what you've heard, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this audiobook with those who also deserve to discover the power of the 80-20 principle. It's time to take action and apply what you've learned in every area of your life. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying until the end. Remember, your success is in your hands, and with every small step, every conscious decision, you're getting closer to achieving your goals.